everyone, how are you? I hope everyone is doing well. Happy Tuesday and welcome back to my channel, Meaningful Intuitive Guided Tarot. I am back to give you guys your weekly read, but it will start and kick off, even though we're starting today on this Tuesday, it will still include the effects or the energies coming in from yesterday, which was Monday. But today's reading will be coming to you as a special bonus because it will be your lunar eclipse reading. Why? Because today there's a full moon in Taurus, my sign, under this lunar eclipse, which means unlike last October when we had a solar eclipse, it also will mark certain transformations and sudden changes in whatever area of our life. But the reading will be broken down like I did with the other eclipse in October. I will be giving you a reading based upon your elemental signs. So it will be divided up by the earth signs, water signs, fire signs, and then the air signs, okay? But before we get into your reading, I kind of want to just give you an intro overview of what this lunar eclipse will mean, what it's about, and what actually will, toward the end, what, as I said, will mean for each of the signs going forward. All right, so with that being said, everyone, let's have a quick overview about this lunar eclipse. So, today, as I said, marks the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. It's also referred to as a blue moon because of the intensity of its color appearing red. So the full moon for today under this eclipse is going to appear of a more intense, darker color, taking on that red color. So it is referred to in that regard as a blue moon. However, certain eclipses are rare, particularly this one. Why? It's because when you have the perfect alignment, which means that when this kind of eclipse occurs, it means that the earth passes directly between the sun and the moon, casting a deep shadow across the lunar surface. It's in perfect alignment or very close in alignment of the Earth's sphere. But unlike the solar eclipse that we had in October, like that one, you can view this eclipse without any eye protection. As I had mentioned with my bonus reading for the solar eclipse, if you were to go out and see it, you would have to really be cautious because with solar eclipse, because of the light of it, it's very intense, which can cause eye damage. But some of you that want to see this lunar eclipse taking place, which I don't know if it actually have passed already, you either need to take the view of it early in the morning or late at night. But nonetheless, it can be viewed with the naked eye with no concerns of any type of eye damage. Eclipse represents gateways, astrological doors, if you will, that you can step through to bring about powerful transformation. After October's solar eclipse and polarizing Scorpio, because believe it or not, we are still in the energy of Scorpio's eclipse, or in that sign of Scorpio, we were left with no choice but to do the intense shadow work that came along with it. Which, can't even read my own writing, which means that all the shadow work now will transform change that will or should propel us toward our destiny. Understanding these changes are part of something greater in the divine plan, and that the conclusions of our plans or dreams are within reach. So, how will this lunar eclipse affect your elemental sign? Well, let us go into your reading now, everyone, to see exactly what you can expect during this November 2022 solar eclipse. Lunar eclipse. It must be the eclipse that got me tripping. Anyway, everyone, we are now going to go into your individual elemental signs to see how this lunar eclipse under this full moon in Taurus will affect you moving ahead. we will kick off the reading with the earth signs. Be back momentarily. Hello, hello, welcome back. Calling all earth signs, that will be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is your reading coming up. As you can see, I am representing my bull gang here by wearing my Taurus shirt. And I do realize that when I look back at my intro overview, I said Taurians yes, we are Taurians, but it was another way I pronounced it. So it's definitely this eclipse that's affecting my way of speaking, but it's Taurus. So again, so those of you that are of the element of earth, which will be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, this is your reading. So before we start off and get into your main chunk of the tarot cards, I pulled out directly these two cards. These will be like your targeted bullseye cards for today, for this reading. Normally in my other regular readings, I will pull out one bullseye card that would influence the reading, but this reading has been unpurposely targeted because, for one, we are under a full moon in Taurus, and it talks about these cards is coming from the Moonology deck because we are dealing with a full moon, and so we are also dealing with the astrological aspects as well under or for this reading. So it says the full moon in Taurus is your dreams need a practical plan. Okay, so keep that in mind as we move forward with your reading. And then the next card that I pulled out directly was the full moon eclipse because we are under a full moon eclipse. And it says conclusions are within reach. So with those two being your targeted influencer cards or your main targeted messages, let's see how the rest of the reading goes in terms of what else you can expect as earth signs moving ahead. So because, as I mentioned, when you mentioned earlier in my overview, if you remember, I said that eclipse represents gateways and that the astrological doors you can step through to bring about powerful transformation. So with that being said, I also wanted to go into another deck, which is actually the first deck that I'm using on this channel. This is the Star Coast Astro Oracle. So as well as you can see, I am starting off with the oracles first, but I wanted to use this card use this deck because it makes sense and it kind of synchronizes with what we are dealing with, a full moon and then a lunar eclipse. And so the card that came out for us earth signs, we pulled out the planet of Mars. Mars says the message is motion. Okay, so I am going to go into the book to get more extended messages to see how this planet Mars, why did it come out for us? What does it mean moving ahead under this eclipse? All right, so first of all, I'm going to read challenges. I'm going to read the challenges about it, what action we should take, and then what would be the end result if we follow the action. All right, so the challenges of this Mars is domineering willfulness, misuse of sexuality, anger, belligerence, and a warlike mentality are the shadow side of Mars. Break the momentum if your situation heads downhill, whatever that situation is. Stop for a moment and think through your next move. Now, what is the action? Once we know now the challenges of this planet Mars in terms of motion, what action should we all be taking as earth signs? It says Mars urges you to take action, any action, but this can get you in trouble. Jump into motion, but stay in the driver's seat and think through the consequences of your moves. Mars is raw energy, and like the motor of a fine sports car, it can take you far if you add wisdom and guidance. Mars wants you to develop your strength and bravery, so work out and develop muscles or rescue the proverbial underdog. Boldly go where you have not gone before. Kind of reminds me of Star Trek's theme, to boldly go, which means to be brave and step into unseen territory, so to speak. And passionately dive into life. Mars loans you the competitive edge to obtain a fiercely desired goal and teaches that for your yes to truly mean yes, your no needs to be respected. Know what you want and don't want, and be aware of those desires and the people around you. Learn to fight and fight fairly. Stand your ground. As we earth signs, that's what is one of our abilities, is that, we are considered close to earth. Earth signs, we need to sometimes go to nature to help ground ourselves, because really, that's where we get our strength. That's where we can actually heal, by connecting to Mother Earth. So anytime you hear grounding, that is truly one of our attributes in terms of when it comes to our own inner power and what it is we want and how to navigate moving forward. We need to connect to the earth, because that's where we can truly connect and ground ourselves. So it says, stand your ground with grace and compete against your own personal best. And so if we do this and take action, then what would be the outcome? The outcome is the higher note of Mars energy manifests as a divine guardian, your potent inner first responder who is ready to be the hero in a dangerous situation and protect you and yours. So the outcome is that once we are set out to do what's required of us, more than likely we will get there. Slow and steady, but we will win. We will win. Guys, I have to blame it on something. I don't know what it is, but Mars is definitely attacking my speech and my words today. It's tripping me up, but I'll get through this. All right, so now we're going to jump into the tarot cards and see further how the planet of Mars, of motion, and the whole attitude and the action we should take, what does it really mean? So your first card that came out that started off your tarot reading is the Seven of Cups, which makes sense, because if you notice here, this energy is someone, remember, by the way, just know that even though we are still, giving you this reading by your element, still know that this is a general, so it still may not resonate with each and all of you earth signs. So just keep that in mind. Just take the parts that do resonate and then leave the rest for your fellow earth signs. All right. So as I was saying, this energy of the Seven of Cups is an energy of making decisions. This is a choice card. You have a lot of choices. You have a lot of decisions to make. And sometimes we become overloaded in deciding what it is that we want, right? So it calls for us to also set things in motion. It's calling for us to ground ourselves, and need be, we need to figure out, going back to one of your targeted bullseye card, which is under our sign, it says your dreams need a practical plan. So basically, this is what this energy is trying to do. We are in the process of figuring out a practical plan. Now, there may be plenty. There may be plenty projects, plenty dreams, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes we get too overloaded in our mind and brains, and sometimes that can cause us to become confused. So we want clarity. We also want to be clear, because the universe is also going to be a part of our divine plan. But the universe also wants to see which dream, which plan screams out the most to us. Which is it? And so once we figure it out, and as we narrow down those plans, then the universe can then take over and help manifest those dreams or plans, if that makes sense. All right? So now, the second card that came out in the second position is the King of Swords. So the King of Swords definitely still have a lot, which shows that it's been thinking a lot, doing a lot of thinking. But the King of Swords is the element of air sign. So this could be an Aquarius, this could be a Gemini, this could be a Libra here. But again, it's all about energy. So the energy from the Seven of Swords is just showing you that you've been overthinking. And sometimes it calls for a need to bring a little emotions into it to help us figure out the plan, of course, what it is we want. Sometimes when you overthink, again, you are not focusing on the emotional part of your plan. So this energy is calling us to think less and feel more. In other scenarios, it might, or other aspects of our life, it might cause for us to do the opposite, where we are feeling so much and we're not thinking. But in this situation, it calls for us to feel more and not overthink things. Don't overanalyze things so much, but try to find that practical plan in our mind. Let's take it one step at a time, but let it be something that we are truly the most excited about, something that we kind of want more. And once we do that, then the next card, the third card, is the Queen of Wands. You see this energy here? It's a very happy energy. It's like, yes, I figured it out. Yes, now I know how I can proceed ahead and what it is that I want. And you're going toward it. So this is the energy that we all want to be in, basically. Some of you, if this resonates, like if you are stuck and you're feeling at crossroads about something, whatever area of your life, once you take that attitude of overthinking and kind of bring a little bit of emotions into it, then you will be able to achieve your goal. So the Queen of Wands showing you that yes, it can be attainable if you stop giving a lot of thought to it in this case. So think less, feel more, tap into your emotional side and see exactly what needs to be done, what needs to be kind of reduced, what needs to be taken out, and focus on that main area, okay? And then we clarify these energies that came out. So for the Seven of Cups, we clarified it with the Fool coming out. How fitting, because the Fool is like taking that leap of faith, kind of doing what it is that, whatever it was that we felt we couldn't do in terms of a plan. It just shows you that you can do it. You have to believe in yourself, but as well as the book said, being brave, being bold, taking that leap of faith, because some of you might not feel that, you have what it takes, or you're a little nervous about it, you're kind of panicky about it, you're not too sure. Well, the Fool says you can do it. Take that leap of faith to kind of figure out what it is that you want to do in terms of your plan, because you definitely have a plan, but it's just too much at this time, and you are overloading yourself with trying to figure it out. And so, clarifying the King of Swords, we have here the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups again. If you notice, you went from the Seven of Cups, which means that you've been downplaying or cutting out some of those plans, and now you are at the Four of Cups. But still, it's almost like you still have a decision to make. You have basically 7 cups down, you have 6 cups down, you got 3 cups down, or you have 3 there, but basically you have 3 that stands. So if you notice this energy here, the Four of Cups, sorry, got the wrong one. I got the right card. Yes, I was right. Boy, I'm telling you, this eclipse is playing a trick on me. Anyway, so the Four of Cups shows you still have 3 cups to go, but you see this hand that's reaching out with a cup, which meaning that, again, as I mentioned, the divine is helping you. They are extending a hand out to you. They are helping you to get clarity on the plan that perhaps you need to go. And once you release and take that leap of faith to know that they got your back, then it's a win-win situation, if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? So you did downplay. You did cut off the amount of thinking that you did because you was overwhelmed, and you said, okay, so 7, 6, 5, 4, now I have 3. You still kind of confused, but again, you see the divine stretching out the hand here, saying this is the way you should go. Now, are you going to trust the divine's message to you, and you're going to accept that, or are you going to go back and still get into that fragile type of energy, not really believing that there is a true divine plan for you? Okay, that's what that means. So sometimes we may not know the plan ahead, but it goes with that saying, walk by faith and not by sight. But taking that fool's energy, by taking that leap of faith, generally when we do that, and once the divine have their hand in it, we can't go wrong, because the divine, they are there to help you. Remember, the divine, which is the universe, whoever your belief system is, they are all working in cahoots to help us along the way. And so once they give us a direction or give us a little assistance, then it behooves us to take that help, to take that assistance, because more than likely it's going to spiral off into something very positive for us. Even though it might be a sudden or a switch or a change in our plan, but always know that they know best, and that more than likely we will get into the spirit of the Queen of Wands, that it will pan out and that it will be happy. And clarifying in this, we did get the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles to me is the energy of achievement. You achieved your goals, okay? It's like, you know, you're happy, you obtained what you needed to do, you understood what was needed to be done in order to see the success in it, all right? So, earth signs, that is the message that I got for you today. I hope it was helpful. Like I said, if it resonated, hit that thumbs like button to give me a like. Subscribe to this channel, please, if you have not already. And last but not least, subscribe. I said subscribe. I'm very baffled. I've been just, I don't believe it. Anyway, what I was going to say is share with your friends and family. And until the next reading, I'm wishing all of you a happy Tuesday, and stay positive. Know that you always have you're in control of the driver's seat, okay? And you don't have to move, you know, as earth signs, we know that we don't have to go full speed, but as long as we are steady and hold the course, we will win the race. Win the race. I'm done. Later, earth signs. I hope it was helpful. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, hello, my water signs. Calling all water signs, which would be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. If you are of this element of water, this is your reading. So guys, as I mentioned to you in my overview bonus message in the intro of what the eclipse is about, it was for everyone. And if you recall, which you may not, I did mention in my overview that eclipse represents gateways, and that the astrological doors that you step through will bring about some type of powerful transformation. Now, why did I say this? It's because you will understand moving ahead why I picked the card that I did. Before I get into that, I am going to start off as I did with the element of earth, that I am purposely pulled out 2 cards from my Moonology deck, which will be your targeted bullseye cards. Why? Because for one, we are under a full moon in Taurus, and we are having a full moon eclipse. And so both of these messages resonate with what is going on today. So first, the full moon eclipse says conclusions are within reach. And we're going to, as we go into your reading and your spread, we will see how that all ties into that. And then we have the full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. And so we're going to see, if anything, how that will tie into the rest of your reading. Moving ahead from that, I did go to my Star Coast Astro Oracle, which is a new deck that I am bringing to this channel. And I thought it would be very fitting for this reading, as I did with the earth signs, because again, it taps into the astrological aspects, the energy from the cosmos, to see what other energy under this eclipse would affect you water signs. And so the card that came out was from the asteroid planet, so to speak, because I believe asteroids is still like considered a planet, but this is the planet of Chiron, and the message is heal. Okay, which means that when I started drawing from your cards, that some of you right now need a lot of healing for whatever reason. Again, like I mentioned with my other signs, that this is still a general. So even though I am collectively doing a reading for water signs, it may not resonate with each and every one of you. So you would just take the parts that do and leave the rest for your fellow water signs. All right, so some of you are definitely in a period where you need healing, and so we are going to actually go into the book to understand more about Chiron and how and what it is that you need to heal. All right, so we're going to break it down to 3 parts. First, we're going to see what are the challenges that this asteroid energy is representing for you water signs moving ahead under this eclipse. So the challenge of Chiron to heal, it says the situation can set off touchy memories or poke you where it still hurts. Shrapnel, whatever that means, shrapnel can hurt as much coming out as it does going in. Take this opportunity to heal so those old places can transform. Speaking of transformation, this would be one area, and you would know in what area of your life or what this might represent for you, okay, individually. So that is the challenges of this. Now, what action you would need to take so to create something positive or to get through this challenge. So what's needed, it says, find purpose in your problems. Hard-earned wisdom is now relevant and needed. You don't have to assign causality. You may never know why you went through a difficult time, but you can put what you learned from it to good use. Even if you never quite heal in this place of karmic tenderness, you have the wisdom to pass on once you metabolize the information. The situation may feel familiar, but if you can't remember a story, go with it. It may be left over from a past life, a chapter review of what your soul already knows. If an old plan is triggered, have compassion for yourself. You are more than your troubles. You know the route through, and now it's time to practice what you know. Once you have a solution, add it to your toolkit. If the situation stretches and tests you, take it as a training for the hero within. What you are learning now can be your secret sauce in the future. And then if you do that, if you take the action, what is the outcome? How will it turn out? It says, allow the pain and troubles of the past to become the wisdom and compassion of the present moment. So basically, it's very straightforward. So some of you at this time is still living in the past. You are still healing from past worries, troubles, whatever and how this may mean for you. But right now, Chiron of healing is giving you the focus or turning your attention to the present moment, not even concerned about the future. The past is the past. So now you have to be able to find the motivating energy to move and come out of the past and to focus on the present. It's no time than the present, right? So now we're going to go further into your tarot cards to see how this further will help you guys moving ahead under this lunar eclipse. So the first card that came out was your 7 of Wands. Your 7 of Wands here is an energy. This could be for the masculine. This could be for the feminine energy. Remember, it's all about energy, so it doesn't matter what gender. But this energy here, you see, is an energy of solitude, okay? It's about solitude. For this reading, it's about solitude. It's actually taking some time off to go into a quiet space, go into that hermit mode, to really give thought to letting go of whatever the past is and focusing and making a projection of what it is that you want to think about moving ahead in the present, right? And so this person also here is like praying, closing her eyes and she's praying, or his eyes, and praying as to the next course. Like, how do I move out of this? How do I heal? So whoever your belief system is, along with the universe, along with your spirit angels, they are there to help guide you, to give you insight but also to give you support. You have a lot of support around you, my water signs, to know that when you are able to release the past, by releasing the past, it's going to open up your present, if that makes sense, right? So it might require you to, like I said, take some time alone. And alone time is always that moment that you can truly heal. Because I also have another channel, meditation channel. And on that channel, not only do I talk about meditation being self-love, but actually today I spoke about meditation as a form of healing. So this can also be an energy of meditating, where you are actually healing your mind, your body, and your soul. So use the energy of, or take the advice of Chiron and start to heal. But the healing always starts from within, because whatever you initiate or start from within, it's going to show on the outside, on your external, right? So that's what you need to focus on. And then moving on to your second card, we have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is about making some decisions, being able to, once you are in that bubble, because to me this is like a bubble, like a balloon. You're inside this bubble, and there's a lot of thought that's going into play here. You know, you're emotional. Healing comes from being emotionally scarred, being emotionally hurt, excuse the noise. And so once you are in this bubble, it just shows you that there are things that you really need to think about, because right now things is imbalanced. The Two of Pentacles is an energy also of just standing on one foot, but it's also needing some type of balance, something that's going to bring equilibrium to your mind, body, and soul, if you will, right? And so again, you have to go into that bubble, create your own bubble, find a moment, go into that bubble and try to figure things out, so that you will feel like the decisions you have made, or what it is that you are trying to heal from, you will begin to see things falling into place. Because right now it's almost like the scales is kind of tilted, but you want to be able to bring that other side down. So to me, this is like the small bubble of what this is. So it's almost like you want to shrink down that process of healing, so that you are able to get back on your feet and move to the present, not being stranded, not being left back and pulled back by keep dwelling in the past. Okay, so that's what I get for those two. And then your last card, your third card, guess what? You have the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups shows progress. You are happy that you made the decisions that you did. And actually, this is your energy here, water signs. Cups is energy of the element of water. So this is your energy that has come out toward the very end to show that you have what it takes to go through this healing process, right? And that you will get there. It may take time, you know, and some of it might be something that is really painful, something that is really, you know, scarring you. But, you know, time do heal, you know, or healing takes the time. But you have to start the transition, start that progress toward healing. And once you do that, then you will have the support coming in from your spirit team to help you along the way. All right. And then we go down to your clarifying cards, which I pull to clarify these energies that came up. So why did the Seven of Wands come up, and what does it signify? Well, the clarifying card to that was the Five of Wands. So again, there is conflict. The Five of Wands is about conflict. It's about pain. It's about fighting for truth. It's about fighting for what you know is right. Fighting for clarity. Fighting for understanding and how to move ahead. And you will get there. But it's also that internal conflict within oneself. So as soon as you remove the conflict, and you will, because you're going to indulge in this quiet moment and create that bubble, you will be able to see that you will be able to come out of that conflict, that mental conflict, or that emotional conflict, coming out of the past and moving ahead. Now moving on to the Two of Pentacles. The card that clarified the Two of Pentacles was your Two of Wands. The Two of Wands here to me says that maybe there's more time that's needed for you to figure things out. This is also like a travel card. So maybe some of you might need a quick retreat, like a little mini getaway, a mini vacation to maybe go heal. There's no way to heal like going out of your hometown and going to another state that will be maybe more peaceful, less noisy, more calming. So some of you actually might take it to that point where you say, you know what, I really need to heal. I'm going to go treat myself. And you go treat yourself. But whatever it is, it could just be going to the spa. It don't have to be somewhere far away. It could just be something that you're doing to yourself that you will just see the need to just be able to find a way to unwind. And when you do that, that also starts or initiates the healing process. All right. So that's what the Two of Wands means there for me. And then closing out to clarify your Nine of Cups, we ended up with Judgment. And Judgment is very straightforward. It's a very straightforward message. Don't be too hard on yourself, but also don't judge about the incidences. Don't judge what took place in the past, because it's in there. The past is there for a reason. But moving forward, know that to judge is also judging of oneself and taking the responsibility to see how you can utilize the time to heal yourself, if that makes sense. But don't judge the situation. Don't judge anything that didn't work out. Because remember, as the message said here, it says, even if you never quite heal in this place of karmic tenderness, judgment is about karmic reactions or karmic circumstances. It says you have the wisdom to pass on once you metabolize the information. And this is the place you're going to get that information when you go into that bubble. So don't be too hard on yourself. Again, don't judge it. Don't worry if you don't come out feeling fully healed, but know that when you initiate and start it, a little bit of healing is better than no healing, right? So my water signs, I hope that resonates with you. I hope it made sense. I hope you better understand how this lunar eclipse might affect you in the next 72 hours. As eclipse, they do have a span of 3 days, 72 hours, in which you can maybe see any projected transformations or changes that may occur during this time. So if you did like this reading for your water signs, give me a like by hitting that thumbs like button. As well, subscribe to this channel if you have not already. By doing so, you let me know that you like my readings and you like how the channel give you bonuses here or there. And then last but not least, share with your friends and family to get them on board so they can also get in to their readings and to see what is ahead for them when we have these eclipse and moon phases. All right, collective of my water signs, until the next time, take care and continue to heal. Know that healing is strength, and you have the strength to do so. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, welcome back. Hello, fire signs, calling all fire signs. This would be my Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If you are of this element of fire, then this is your reading. Let us get started, guys. So, like with my other elements, I started out by letting them know, as I will let you know, that going ahead, I did take out directly and purposely the 2 cards from my Moonology deck that will be your overall or the bullseye energies, because these are the targeted energies. Why? Because we do have a full moon eclipse going on currently, and there is a full moon in Taurus. So it kind of makes sense that I pulled out these 2 cards on purpose, because this will overall affect the energies and how it also stimulate your reading going ahead. All right, so the full moon eclipse says conclusions are within reach. Okay, so whatever it is that you've been working on, it is coming close to being completed. And then the full moon in Taurus says your dreams need a practical plan. So we're going to see if these actually going to how it's going to help stimulate the rest of your reading, or see how the messages from your tarot cards will resonate with that. So before we get started into your actual tarot reading, I also took the liberty to, as I've mentioned with the other readings, that I did take out, I'm pulling out all as well, a star card. This is from my Star Codes Astro Oracle, okay? And the reason being is because, as I mentioned before, earlier in my overview, that eclipse represents gateways. And it also means astrological doors that are being opened when you bring astrological doors that will step you through to bring about powerful transformation. Somehow I got through my water signs without any stumbling. Now I come to this and I'm beginning to stumble. So bear with me. So as I said, I pulled a card from my Astro Star Code deck because I thought that it would be fitting to kind of also see what other energy from the astrological sphere, so to speak, from the cosmos, that is, how it also influence you guys reading, all right? And the card that came out was the planet of Venus. Venus, we know, is the ruling planet of Taurus. So somehow it shows me that you guys will definitely somehow be feeling the effects of this eclipse or this full moon under Taurus very much. And the message is beloved. Okay, so you got Venus and it's about beloved. All right, so we're going to go into the book as I did with the other readings, and we are going to read and see what this means, what message is there. And it's going to be broken down into 3 different messages. First, we're going to tap into the challenges of what this means, and then we are going to see the action that's needed to move ahead, to come out of the challenge. And then if we take the action by doing the work, the overall outcome of it. All right, so Venus symbolizes the heart. It symbolizes romance, and it symbolizes the creative process. Okay, so it says, for the challenges, emotions run strong and passions are intense. And that is one of the main elements, or the main attributes, or the stimulating phrase when we hear about fire signs, passion, fire, right? But here, somehow, it calls for you guys to kind of tone it down. And as we get into your reading, you will see how that makes sense. It says, be wary of crimes of passion, love addiction, or looking for love in material things. If you are fascinated by the superficial aspects of Venus, you can get caught up in appearances or become blind in love. Look deeper. So what is the action that you guys need to take moving ahead? How do you come out of the challenge? Well, it says here to soften, charm, open the heart, investigate how you can make the situation more beautiful, more fair, and more lovely. Remember this Venetian truth. People are fascinated by those who find them fascinating. Use diplomacy and seduction and let others come to you. So in other words, it's like, you know, in this aspect, now also just know that even though it is a collective for the fire signs, it still is general, so it's not going to resonate with each and every fire sign. Okay, so keep that in mind. So it's calling for you guys to, what else going to say? I lost my thought. Okay, it'll come back to me. So it says here, use diplomacy and seduction and let others come to you. That's what I was going to say. So it calls for you guys to kind of not be the chaser in this situation. Don't chase. You know, the fire, once the fire ignites, it's like out of control. So the energy overall from this reading seems that you guys need to kind of tone it down a little bit. Okay? Engage creativity, generosity, and affection. Venus calls you to your heart, to romance, signs to you as a creative muse, asks you what you value, what you want enough to get yourself in trouble. Come to know your heart, know what you are passionate about, and when you stir others people's passion. When your heart hurts, you can express the higher notes of Venus through acts of compassion, affection, or creativity. All become medicine for your sore throat. Pull out the art supplies and paint how you feel. Rescue a puppy. Help a person who needs loving kindness even more than you do. Now, if you take the action and this advice, then what would be the outcome? It says Venus encourages a loving heart. So to heal your own heart and become a Venetian beacon to the world around you, develop what the Buddhists refer to as Mayatri. I don't know if I pronounced that right, which means loving kindness, benevolence, friendliness, and active interest in others' well-being. So there might be some selfish tendencies when it comes to whatever area of this life, whatever area of your life that this is happening in. You would know personally how this will affect you on an individual level. And so now we're going to move further into your tarot spread to see how this all breaks down, to see what really this means for you guys. So the first card that came out, that started out your tarot reading, was the King of Cups. The King of Cups here is like an energy to slow down, take a pause. The passion has been, or the passion is too intense. Whatever this passion may be, it could be with people, it could be with an endeavor, and don't get it twisted. It's not that, hold on guys. Sorry about that. The call was coming in and it also activated my tablet. Sorry about that. So it's a slow down energy. It's also an energy that says that too much passion can burn out. It can cool things off. And sometimes, we don't want that to happen. But when you're too hot, something that's too hot can actually cool something off, right? And if it's talking about a love relationship, then there seems to have to be some type of a balance that needs to be at play here. So you want to give enough passion, but not too much. Because then the other energy, who is about water, which is like the opposite of you guys. Because when you think about it, your opposite sign is water, because fire will extinguish, it will burn out. So knowing what your energy is about, then your approach, especially maybe to love or any area, but maybe with love, there has to be some type of a balance there, because too much passion will burn out the energy that you're putting into. It might cool things off too much. So you want to be mindful in your approach about it. Okay, so if this is pertaining to a relationship, or maybe you are dating someone, maybe it's asking for you, the King of Cups is asking for you to kind of take a more slower approach. Remember what the book says, let it come to you. You don't be the chaser and go after it. You know what I mean? Take things slow. So it's asking for more of a slower pace and not too much of speed here with every area that may be affecting you. Then we move into your second card, which is the King of Wands. This is your energy here, fire signs. You know Wands. If you've been reading a lot of tarot and a lot of videos, you know by now that the Wands is your energy, the fire signs, but it also means bravery. It means courage. It means go-getter. But in this situation, now in some aspects, when it comes to ideas, when it comes to career, when it comes to things that we are passionate about, where it involves our dreams and our goals for life, yes, we want to be able to take on that energy of fire, because if we don't, then we will be where we are presently. But you want to always move forward in life, right? But when it comes to love, again, I feel that there's a need of balance. You don't want to overdo something. You don't want to overdo it with too much fire and too much passion, because it can also throw the person off and maybe they might kind of pull away. So you got to find a way to know how to approach love, if that makes sense. Okay, this is what I'm picking up as far as that go. So again, your energy have shown up. So again, it doesn't mean that you can't be brave. It doesn't mean that you lack confidence or you shouldn't be confident. No. But at the end of the day, there is moderation. There's a balance. in every area of our life, okay? And so the third card that came out was your Six of Wands, which shows that you guys will slow it down and you will be happy about that decision, okay? This is your energy here again. So it's just showing you that once you are able to take the action to just take things slow, that you will see the benefit. You will see the result, which will be a positive result. That's only if you take the action to do what it says to do, to kind of slow things down. Remember, slow and steady. As long as you are making progress, as long as you're seeing some type of growth ahead, whatever area this might be, you will come out being appreciated. Because this to me shows appreciation. So whoever, maybe if you're dating someone, whether it's masculine or feminine energy, if you're dating someone, they will appreciate your slow approach moving ahead, because maybe the other person feels that, you know, they don't want that haste. They don't want that pressure of whatever it is, maybe taking things to the next level. If this is a love, you know, area that this is about, but taking a slow approach, they will appreciate it because you were respectful in the way you approached it, if that makes sense. Okay, that's what I picked up. It may not be, so take the parts that do. And then now we come down to clarifying these energies, why these came out. And so the reason that the King of Cups came out was because of your Nine of Wands. So again, this is your energy, Wands. This is your energy here showing up. So a lot of your energy is out here. So really that means that there's a strong emphasis on slow and steady. Okay, slow and steady. You would know what area this is, but I feel strong that this could be about a love situation, because the messages here and what is showing is a lot about passion and love. So this could be definitely like a love connection of some kind. I could be wrong, but again, it's showing you that you have to take a pause. The Nine of Wands is taking a pause to slow things down. And when you do, you would be able to see the results, you know, by taking things slow. Retrograde, no, eclipse. So far, the element that I got through with the reading was my last one, which was the water signs. I got through with no stumbling. So whatever's going on, don't know. Just bear with me. Gotta blame it on something. I'm gonna blame it on the eclipse. All right, guys. So again, it calls for an energy of slowing down. Okay. So don't take it personal. You know, we all have areas of our life that we might need adjustment. So this is just giving you some type of a heads up to say, again, if this is a love relationship, to kind of just slow down, take things slow, because at the end, it's going to work out in your favor. Things will go. It's the flow of your approach. You don't want to move too fast. You don't want to, you know, be too overwhelming, too overbearing to the other energy, if that makes sense. All right. And then to clarify the Six of Wands, we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords, again, here is an energy of lying down, resting, but it's giving thought to what it is you need to do. How will I proceed? What action do I need to do? What do I need to do to make this situation improve? Because obviously there is some unbalance there. So you have to find the balance and able to, maybe it calls for you to, because this is also, to me, the Four of Swords is a spiritual card. So maybe some of you might need to give it thought by praying, whoever your belief system is. Pray over the matter and see, to help you, for your spirit guides and your belief system to help you to get through the challenge of whatever area this is that need just a more of a slower pace. And once you do, then this will be the ultimate outcome that the person will appreciate. If this is a person, if it's some other area, it will all turn out to be positive because, again, of the approach. All right. So this is what I got for you, fire signs. I hope it was helpful. If it resonated, please hit that thumbs like button to give me a like. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not. And last but not least, share with your friends and family so they can get on board to these kind of special bonus readings, so they can get an idea of how these eclipses can affect them going forward. Until next time, thank you guys. Be well and have a good one. Hello, hello, welcome back. Calling all my air signs, If you are of the element of air, which would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, this is your reading. 3 down, 1 more to go. I must say, guys, that I think with the first 2, I had at least 2 out of the 4 elements. I had some struggles with my words, stumbling, and I've just been saying that it has probably something to do with this lunar eclipse. So I'm going to pray and hope that I can get through you guys reading with no stumbling in between. But if it happens, just bear with me as long as the message gets out there. All right, guys. So as I did with the other readings, I will say that before we get started, I took the liberty to pull 2 cards from the Moonology deck that will represent strongly what is taking place today, which is a full moon eclipse, and we are under a full moon in Taurus. So this full moon eclipse says conclusions are within reach. All right, and as we go into your reading, we will see how that and what that would mean for you. And then full moon in Taurus is your dreams need a practical plan. So we're going to see how both these energies will kind of shape shift, if you will, or influence the rest of your reading moving forward. As well, I also mentioned with my other readings that I am using a new deck, which is a new deck I'm using for this channel for the first time, and it is the Star Codes Astro Oracle, and I pull 1 card from this deck because we are, as I mentioned in my overview, that these eclipses brings about gateways, or they represent gateways, which means that astrological doors that you step into will bring about powerful transformations. And so with that being said, I wanted to see what planet, what energy, whatever comes out, what will be the influencing energy that will affect you air signs. And so the card that came out was, now, you've heard of square, you've heard of semi-square. And then there's another aspect of this from the cosmos. And I know the pronunciation, it's not going to be right. It's possible for Q-quints, but it represents aspects coming from the astrological sphere. But what it represents is tension. Okay? So you guys, that means that this is going to be a little bit of a very tensed, very challenging full moon for you guys under this eclipse. But like with anything, challenges don't mean that they are there permanently. Challenges are meant to be taught lessons that are there for us to learn from, to move on from. They're not there to be there forever. All right. So know that whatever challenges that you air signs might experience in the next 72 hours, as eclipse are around and sticks around for 3 days, know that as long as you take the inner strength to really seek what it is that needs to be done, and not overthink things, because we know that air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, particularly Aquarius, you have a tendency to overthink things. You are more into things without looking at it from your other emotion, which is, that of being emotional. I don't know if that came out right, but you get the idea. You guys are less emotional and more analytical. So I get the feeling that this might call for some emotions to kind of come into play here as you try to balance things out. This kind of similar to my fire signs a little bit about things being balanced. But anyway, let's move on. But before we get into your tarot spread, let us look further into see what this is and what this means for you guys moving ahead. It's going to be broken down in 3 different meanings. We're going to start out with the challenge of what the challenge is about, and then we're going to take and look into the action, what needs to be done to overcome the challenge, because challenges are meant to be overcome, right? If you allow yourself to be open and know that you can overcome it. And then we're going to see what the final outcome would be if you take the necessary steps in the action toward it, okay? So the main challenge is, first of all, these are 3 aspects here, and they are awkward, They are potentially confrontational and urge us to grow as we reconcile disparate points of view. Okay, so that is the main meaning behind this. So the challenge is, this is a workout of body, mind, or spirit. And workouts can be tiring. Okay, now what action is needed? How do you move ahead to come out of this challenge? It says life is a workout. This phase needs juggling, muscle building, and the careful coordination of competing needs. You may feel pulled between one path or another and pushed to make a decision, but with some fancy timing and rhythm, you may be able to do it all. Working with people who have diverse mindsets, skills, and backgrounds can be challenging, but in the long run, these collaborations prove most productive and enriching. Find points of ease, the few things everybody agrees on already, and build out from there. Honor difference and expand. Let the situation become a mandala created by the interlacing elements that at a first glance may not look like they go together. These apparently clashing pieces can round each other out and create a beautiful symbol of wholeness. Take this image into your psyche and use it as a pattern for interaction. These intense aspects take work, but don't avoid it. If you take a hatching baby bird out of its egg so it doesn't have to struggle, it won't build the strength needed to survive. A butterfly needs to struggle coming out of the cocoon in order to have circulation and its wings to fly. This situation builds your strength. Get ready to fly. And as I mentioned with the other readings, just because it is a collaborative or collective element of air signs, it still will be general. So you take the parts that resonate with you and leave the rest for your fellow air signs. Okay, so that is what is needed to come out of your challenge at this time, air signs. And so now we move on to your tarot spread. The first card that came out was your Queen of Pentacles. So this kind of ties in just with what we just finished reading about collaboration, about having a more of a broader view, and not that, particularly more toward the Aquarius, but this is a collective of air signs. So not Gemini and Libra will have kind of the same thinking pattern of the Aquarius sign. But again, to me, this shows an energy, particularly those probably that are of Aquarius, because this energy here is very withdrawn. It's non-emotional. It's an energy of being alone, standing alone, not having no emotions when it comes to your interaction with other people, if that makes sense. So this person is very withdrawn, is being kind of disconnected. And sometimes, again, I think about the air sign of Aquarius, that generally they kind of have that kind of personality. But overall, regardless of, you don't have to be an Aquarius, this could be Gemini or Libra, but overall, it's the energy that you need to kind of open up, to embrace other people. And as the book says, it calls for you to just be able to collaborate, because when you do, it says you will be what? Productive. All right. And moving on to your second card, you guys got strength. Okay. This is of the strength card is an energy of just what it says, very straightforward. Some of you might have Leo or be in the cups of Leo in your placements, but Leo represents that of it represents the Leo. It represents the lion type of attitude here, but at the same time, you would have the strength. You see, you have here at the top, you have the face here. It's showing you have a regular face, and then it shifts into the Leo, into the strength of the lion, which is the Leo here. So this is Leo energy coming through. So some of you might have that on the cups of your placements, but nonetheless, it's an energy of finding the strength to be able to be open, to be more open-minded, to embrace and to allow other people's way of view at this time. Because when you don't do that, that's where the tension appears. And it doesn't have to even be tension among other people. There we go. It doesn't have to represent tension so much with other people, but it's tension that we hold within ourselves. Remember, our mind, our body, and soul. And a lot of times when we are in that energy, sometimes the internal aspects of oneself can play a part in how we interact with other people. So if we're holding on to struggles, if we're holding on to certain types of tensions within ourselves, what's going to happen? It's going to exude and it's going to affect the outside, the external, and that will be people, right? So like I said, this calls for you guys to kind of come out of that withdrawal to be able to interact and collaborate, because overall, as the book says, it will be productive and enriching, right? So even though you might have your skills, you might have a certain way in which you think analytically, logically, and you feel that other people's views doesn't match with what you're going through, it's okay, because everybody have their own input, so to speak. But when you come together, bring a little love into the equation and not so much overthinking about how it's going to come out, then you will get to your last energy here, the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a message to oneself. This is usually the Page of Swords can be a message coming in to alert someone, but this is a message to oneself. Once you are able to take a moment to think about how you would take the action that's needed to be able to be more productive, it will enrich your life. It will remove those challenges. It will remove those burdens. It will remove the tension. Okay? And this is something that you guys will have to find the strength to really do, because you are dealing with this lunar eclipse as well as this full moon, which kind of double impacts confrontations, right? So you have to find the balance within your mind, body, and soul to figure out how you can, interact and engage with the outside world. Don't be so much withdrawn into your own world, but know how to figure out how you can navigate and kind of intertwine with the rest of the world, if that makes sense. Okay, I hope it made sense. And so we wind down with clarifying these energies. So to clarify the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Two of Wands here. The Two of Wands here is an energy of expansion. It's like the world kind of energy I got. Now, this Two of Wands can represent many of things in other readings, but for this reading here, the Two of Wands for me, you see the man is holding a glove. So a globe. There we go again. The Two of Wands here, this image here, this could be masculine or feminine, is holding like a globe or the world, which means it's your way of thinking. Again, thinking outside and being able to understand that collaborating and coming out of this withdrawn energy, it's not going to serve you. But being able to think outside and know that once you come out of that, and step into having a more wide view of things, being able to bring in people, so to speak, encouraging or allowing people to come in with their way of thinking. You bring it all together and it's a win-win situation. That's the best way I can describe it. Okay, and now clarifying in Strength card, we have here the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles, yes, it's going to take work. Remember earlier in the book when I read, it says that you may feel pulled between one path or another, but it also mentioned that this is a workout of the body, mind, and spirit, and that workouts can be tiring. So when you look at this energy here, he's working, but it looked like he's tired. This could be a physical workout. This could be some of you masculine going to the gym. It could be for the feminine as well, but I'm looking at this more stronger of the masculine out there, my masculine air signs. This might be something physically that you might be doing at the gym, working out, which could be tiring after a while, but this can also be your way of thinking. The mental mind can be taking a drain and a toll on you, and that's how you're feeling tired. Or it could just be your physical body where you need rest. But more likely, whatever it calls for balance. You have three aspects here, and the three aspects to me represent the mind, body, and soul. So there's a completion of bringing those three aspects into your life to bring equilibrium in them, because right now you are dealing with a lot of tension. So to ease those tensions, you got to find a balance. You got to kind of find that fine line to be able to remove those tensions, remove those challenges, so you can proceed ahead. And rounding out and closing out your energy, we have the Page of Swords. To clarify the Page of Swords here, we have the Four of Cups. Okay? Which I think, because I just left your second card. So I didn't speak about your Page of Swords. So this is the end result. The Page of Swords is an energy, I may have talked about it. Oh God, this eclipse. I'm sorry. As long as the message come through, and I think, even though with these little stumbles, I think you guys are getting the message. I'm so sorry. It got to be the eclipse. I got to blame it on something. So anyway, the Page of Swords, like I said, is an internal message to oneself. And to clarify the Page of Swords, we come out with the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups here is basically showing you that you have took a moment to reflect upon it, to think about it. You're kind of stubborn and still not quite sure to, want to be able to share and to collaborate with people, but ultimately the divine, he is with you. Know that your divine, your angels, your spirit guides, whomever it is, your belief system is, know that they have your back. Know that when there are challenges, never feel alone. You see this image here of this hand sticking out, giving you this cup? This is like giving you or embracing the support that they are giving you at this time to overcome this challenge, to overcome and to let go the tension and the anxiety that you are creating within yourself. But always know, like I said, that you have spiritual support. Never feel alone. Even if we don't have physical support, friends or family, know that we are never alone, because we have our spirit team, we have our angels, and we have whoever your belief system is. They are there to help guide you, to help you to overcome the challenges so that you can proceed to what it is that you want to do and how you need to do it. And the action that you take, you will be able to get the assistance that you need from the ultimate source, which is the source that will help you to tap, to go inside your inner strength, to become the higher version of you, or to be the best version of you by tapping into your divine. All right. I hope this all makes sense, my air signs. I really hope it do. Please excuse the hiccups in getting through to your reading, but we did it. We got through it. I hope the messages that was conveyed from your reading, I hope it was helpful. If it did resonate, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs like button to give me a like. Subscribe to this channel. By subscribing, you're letting me know that you like these readings and the other things that I do and bring to this channel. And last but not least, share with your friends and family to get them on board. So when the next eclipse come around, they will be able to tap in and see really how that eclipse will be affecting them going ahead. All right, guys, this is it, air signs. I hope you enjoyed it. Until we connect again, have a good evening. Bye.